My wedding planner stole my deposits and used them for her own daughter's wedding. It started when I discovered Victoria had been using my $15,000 in vendor deposits to fund her daughter's elaborate ceremony while leaving me with canceled services and unpaid bills. Victoria came highly recommended by several venues: professional portfolio, glowing reviews, 10 years experience. She promised to handle everything for my dream wedding in 6 months. Just focus on being the bride, Victoria said during our first meeting. I'll coordinate all vendors, manage deposits, and ensure everything runs perfectly. I paid Victoria $15,000 upfront to cover vendor deposits for flowers, catering, photography, and music. Standard practice, according to her contract. For 3 months, everything seemed on track. Victoria sent regular updates about vendor confirmations, menu tasting scheduled, flower arrangements selected. Then things started getting weird. My florist called saying they needed to discuss payment issues before proceeding with arrangements. Payment issues? I gave my wedding planner $3,000 for your deposit months ago. We haven't received any deposits from Victoria yet. She keeps promising to send payment next week. Called Victoria immediately. The florist says you haven't paid their deposit. Administrative delay, I'll handle it this week. 2 weeks later, photographer called with same problem. No deposit received despite my payment to Victoria 3 months earlier. Then caterer, then DJ, then venue coordinator. None of the vendors had received deposits Victoria was supposed to have paid for my money. Victoria, 5 vendors are saying you haven't paid their deposits. Where's my $15,000? Temporary cash flow issue. I'm waiting for another client's payment to clear, then I'll catch up all deposits. Victoria was using my money for other purposes while vendors threatened to cancel my wedding. Started investigating Victoria's recent activities. Checked her business social media and found photos from an elaborate wedding she'd just planned. Congratulations to my daughter Emma on her fairy tale wedding. Every detail perfect. The photos showed expensive floral arrangements, premium catering, professional photography, live band, exactly the vendors and services I'd paid deposits for. Victoria had used my wedding deposits to fund her daughter's wedding. Confronted her directly with the evidence. Victoria, the wedding in your photos used vendors I paid deposits for. You used my money for Emma's wedding. That's ridiculous. Emma's wedding was completely separate. Same florist, same photographer, same caterer. I have contracts showing I paid deposits for these exact vendors. Victoria got defensive and started making threats. If you keep making accusations, I'll withdraw from your wedding entirely. You already stole my deposits. What wedding is left to withdraw from? Filed police report for embezzlement and fraud, provided contracts, payment records, and evidence showing my deposits funded another wedding. Investigation revealed Victoria had been running systematic fraud scheme across multiple clients. She'd take deposits from new clients, use the money for previous weddings or personal expenses, then rely on future deposits to pay old debts. Classic Ponzi scheme using wedding planning as cover. Police found evidence Victoria had defrauded 12 couples over 2 years, stealing over $80,000 in combined deposits. My case wasn't isolated. Victoria had been robbing Peter to pay Paul with wedding deposits while couples scrambled to salvage their ceremonies. Victoria was arrested for fraud, embezzlement, and operating fraudulent business scheme. With 6 weeks until my wedding, I had to rebuild everything from scratch. Vendors were sympathetic once they understood Victoria had stolen their payments. Some vendors agreed to work for reduced deposits given the circumstances. Friends and family helped coordinate last-minute arrangements. My wedding happened, though scaled down from original plans due to budget constraints from Victoria's theft. Victoria was convicted and sentenced to 3 years in prison, plus restitution to all victims. Her business license was revoked and she was banned from operating wedding planning services. Victoria's daughter Emma learned her fairy tale wedding was funded by stolen money from other brides. The wedding planning industry implemented stricter escrow requirements and bonding policies after Victoria's case. I recovered about $8,000 through restitution payments and business insurance, but lost $7,000 to Victoria's fraud. Victoria thought she could steal from multiple brides to fund her daughter's dream wedding. Instead, her embezzlement scheme destroyed her business, landed her in prison, and traumatized families during their most important celebrations. Some fairy tales end with the villain getting exactly what they deserve.